Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and today we're gonna jump straight in where we left off, and that's building the S54 engine. So let's get started. Alright, what we need to do now is put the head on it. Alrighty. So the head is torqued and angled, so basically the hard part of this engine is complete. So it's time to put the timing cover on, but before we can do that, I have some new guides from the BMW dealer. So we're gonna put those on. The other guide, like so. And now, what I also have here is a new timing chain from BMW. So we can put that in as well. So we are continuing where we left off with the engine, and that's putting the timing cover on. So next up is the cams. And then once the cams are in and on timing, we can put the vanos in, etc. And the most hard part is done. But last minute I decided to get the ARP bolts for the rods. So we need to put this in as well. But first things first, we're going to do the cams and then turn the engine around, do the rod bolts, and then yeah, just keep adding bits until we're done. So I have new bolts here for the crank damper pulley, because I believe these are stretch bolts. So let's put them in, but I won't be able to crank them until I have the flywheel on and we can lock the crankshaft. So we'll have to do that later, but at least we can bolt it down. Now let's turn the engine over to TDC. Let's loop these up first. Now let's lock the cams in place. Alright, they're in place. Alright, time to put the hubs back on. Like so. Alright, let's get the exhaust hub on. So we turn it fully clockwise, and then we find the right position for the vanos gear. Turn too much. So, as you can see, once we put the vanos gear in, we've got the hub all the way turned to the right. Once we push it in, it immediately grabs. There's like no hesitation, it just immediately grabs and then all the way goes in where the thread sits flush with the hub. So that's exhaust side. Now we do the intake side. I think this is the one. Okay, push it all the way in and it's flush with the hub. So I'll pull it out. So I put the vanos on for the timing. I'm missing the tool, so you can reach the bolts on the hubs to tighten them to the right newton meter. So I just tighten them for now, while I wait for the right tools to tighten them, or like the socket. But what we are gonna do now, because we can't sit still, because we can do it at any time, we have the ARP bolts for the rods. I installed these already, but a friend of mine gave me a great deal on them. He had them lying around somewhere, so why not do it? They look pretty fancy, so I like that. So what we're gonna do is just change the bolts out. I have the thing here. I don't have the stretch gauge, because that's what they recommend. If you do not have the stretch gauge, torque the bolts to 70 foot-pounds of torque. So I'll have to see what that is in newton meters. Have that, we can start bolting on more of the accessories. Now let's bolt the oil filter housing on. Put a new gasket on the housing. Alright, so let's put the spark plugs in just so nothing can get in the cylinders anymore. So I'm just going to lay on the valve cover so there's nothing falling in the engine while we are working on the rest. Like so. I think next we're gonna put the ITBs on. Or wait, maybe it's smarter to put the sensors on. The crank sensor. I think these are knock sensors. So yeah, let's put those on. Alright, some new intake gaskets. So it's time to put the water pump on. I have a new gasket from BMW. I will probably replace the water pump later on, but not right now. I'm already way overspending, so we'll just leave this for what it is. But this hole used to have like an air pump thing, I don't know. So I bought a block of plate because we are not going to use that. So it cleans up nicely. I have a new one for this as well. Time to put the valve cover on. So let's get the gaskets on. Some gasket maker around the areas where it needs it. Now it's time for the new coil packs. I got the AP ignition coils, so hopefully they work well. We'll see. Like so. So here we have the dash 10 adapters for the oil cooler, because of course we're going to run an aftermarket oil cooler. So I got all the parts for the new oil pump. So what we're gonna do now is replace the old one with the new one. So I think we need to undo this sprocket first, undo these two, do this one, under here, and put it all back together. Red. Alright, it's time to put the oil pan on. Let me grab the gasket maker. I also got a new CPV. I think it's constant pressure valve or something, because those tend to leak on an E46. Of course you can't get the O-ring separate from the dealer, so you need to buy the whole thing. which is like 60 euros, just stupid. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright. New power steering pump fully, because mine didn't look too great. Also bought a new belt because the old one was worn out. So I have the routing here on my screen. Okay, next we're gonna work on the vanos. There's some corrosion, what it looks like on the vanos, and we can actually polish it off. I tried a bit here. So I'm gonna try to do the rest as sort of like this. Try to get all the black spots off, and hopefully it will look a lot better. So let's get started. So the vanos is polished. Basically most of the stuff is on. Power steering, pulley, exhaust, vanos, line, etc. So I think the only thing really left is the wiring harness. So I'm gonna put that on right now so we can easily, this is probably hard to reach in the car, so I'm gonna put it on now. And then we are ready, or almost ready to put it in there. Just need to finish some stuff in the engine bay and some brake lines, but then we are ready. So I'm gonna put the wiring harness on, then we can finish this, put this aside, get the car inside, finish what we need to finish in there, and then give it a go. So most of the wiring and sensors are connected. There's still some stuff I need to connect, but I think there's a lot of intake stuff here still. And of course we need to make room for this in the engine bay. So yeah, we can't really put it on right now. So what I'm gonna do now is put the car inside and work on the brake lines. So we have that done and we can get the engine in. So let's roll that thing inside. So that's where I'm gonna end the video. So we basically did the whole S54. It's sort of, how do you call it? Intimidating, yeah, it's a bit intimidating doing this engine because yeah, it's a lot harder than the M52 because it's a lot more complicated and they're a lot more expensive and more power, more tire tolerances, I think, for mistakes. So yeah, hopefully we did it right, hopefully, but there was only one way to find out, and that's starting and driving, if it's correct, the car. So yeah, that's next, putting the engine in the car, getting a lot of stuff on the car ready, because there were some things that needed to happen, new brake lines for the new ABS, a lot of wiring stuff. I bought a plug and play wiring harness for the engine, so that saved a lot of work. It was basically plug in and ready to go, but you're all gonna see that in the following video or the video after that. But so right now it's going according to plan, according to schedule as well. So hopefully we'll have the car on track by the end of March. But we'll see, because the car needs to get dynoed, because there are some engine mods coming. You probably can guess what's happening. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope to see you guys next week when we are going to actually put the engine in. And I'll leave you with this. Okay, thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.